What if the love of your life cost you 14 years of labor? What if love came with betrayal, rivalry, and heartbreak, yet still fulfilled God's divine plan? This is the story of Jacob, Rachel, and Leah, one of the most emotional and complex accounts in the Bible. Jacob flees and arrives. Jacob is on the run from his brother Esau. He travels far until he reaches the land of his uncle Laban. There, at a well, everything changes. He sees Rachel, and in that moment, his heart is captured. Genesis 29:10, "And Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother." Love at first sight. Jacob kisses Rachel and weeps, not out of weakness, but because destiny has found him. Genesis 29:11, "And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept." Love has begun. The agreement. Jacob meets Laban and makes a bold request. "I will work for you for 7 years for Rachel." Genesis 29:18, "I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter." And Laban agrees. Love makes time light. 7 years pass, but to Jacob it feels like nothing. Genesis 29:20, "And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her." That's how deep his love was. The great deception. The wedding night arrives, but in the darkness, Laban deceives Jacob. He gives him Leah, the older sister. Morning comes, and shock fills the air. Genesis 29:25, "And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah." Jacob has been tricked. Another 7 years. Laban explains the custom and offers Rachel too, but for another 7 years of labor. Jacob agrees. Genesis 29:27, "Serve with me yet 7 other years." Love now cost him 14 years. 2 sisters, 1 husband. Now the home is divided. Leah, unloved. Rachel, deeply loved. Genesis 29:30, "And he loved also Rachel more than Leah." This becomes a house of tension. Leah's pain, God's compassion. Leah is rejected, but God sees her. Genesis 29:31, "And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren." Leah begins to bear children: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah. Each child carries her cry for love. Rachel's desperation. Rachel, though loved, is barren, and her pain grows unbearable. Genesis 31, "Give me children or else I die." Love alone is not enough. The family struggle. A deep rivalry forms. Children are born through both sisters and their servants. The household becomes a battlefield of emotions. Yet through it all, God is building a nation. God remembers Rachel. After years of waiting, God answers Rachel. Genesis 30:22, "And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb." She gives birth to Joseph. Joy finally arrives. Jacob leaves Laban. God tells Jacob it's time to go home. He gathers his family, children, and flocks. They leave in urgency, but Rachel does something hidden. Genesis 31:19, "And Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's." A secret carried into the future. The journey continues. They travel toward destiny, through fear, through reconciliation, through growth. God is with them. Rachel's final moment. Then comes the most painful moment. Rachel goes into labor again, but this time, something is different. Genesis 35:16-17, "And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. Fear not, thou shalt have this son also." She gives birth to Benjamin, but her strength fades. Her last breath. As her soul departs, she names him Benoni, son of my sorrow. Genesis 35:18. And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni. But Jacob renames him Benjamin, son of the right hand. The grave by the road. Rachel dies, on the journey, not in a city, not in comfort, but on the road. Genesis 35:19-20. And Rachel died and was buried in the way to Ephrath, and Jacob set a pillar upon her grave. A lonely grave, a lasting memory. This story is not just about love. It's about delayed answers, painful comparisons, divine purpose. Leah, unloved, becomes the mother of Judah, the lineage of Christ. Rachel, beloved, gives birth to Joseph and Benjamin, key to Israel's survival. What looked like chaos was actually God's perfect plan. Final line. Sometimes the love you fight for, the pain you endure, and the waiting you hate are all part of a greater destiny you cannot yet see.